What's up, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of On the Bluff. I'm your host, Christian Fowler. Joining me, as always, my co-host, Gabe Kuhn, our
What up?
producer, Kenny Stubblefield. Boys, how we doing tonight?
I'm doing great. We're all in the same place here
Yes.
on StreamYard at the same time. I mean,
Are
it's
you
a
ready?
phenomenal week.
Christian, are you ready for this?
I'm always ready.
Hey guys, we should go live on Tuesdays now. Guys, let's go live on Tuesdays. Oh, by the way, I can't be there. Son of a
It is
bitch.
funny as hell, dude.
That did
Listen,
happen.
brother, I've had so many live events at the station that I gotta be honest, I completely forgot I was supposed to be at Rotolo's East Memphis last Tuesday night. And then I literally said, okay, we need to go live. And then what was it? 2 hours later, I text the group and I'm like, guys, I'm not gonna
be
join
there,
today.
By the way,
I had to get Myers and bring him up there because the wife was working. So
Yeah.
it was a debacle. It was an absolute
total
debacle.
cluster, wasn't it?
But we
Hey,
made it through. We made
Kenny,
it through.
I need some advice. All right, you're a longtime parent at this point. All right, I have a 1-year-old at the house, so that's cool. That's something I missed last week talking about.
Yeah.
But now that he's 1 year old, like a lot of his old things are useless. You know what I mean? Like his old toys, like the little bouncer, his little play mats. What the hell do you do with all those things?
Goodwill.
I don't have enough storage in my home.
Goodwill,
put all this
baby.
stuff.
Get that out of your house. You got to purge, bro. You have to, or you're gonna look up and it's
And
gonna
then,
be.
know what it's compounded by? His
What's that?
birthday and Christmas. So there's a bunch of boxes of unopened toys. It's honestly substantially worse than a wedding, which
But
you're
what
going to deal with here shortly,
Yeah.
Christian.
But what happens if you have another boy and then it's like, dude, we had all
Yeah,
this
that's
stuff
what I'm
and
saying.
threw
But
it
like,
all
I would
out.
need someone else to have some storage for me. to keep
Someone
in their
else to keep
house.
it for you.
Yeah, like I do not have enough storage at the house, man. I walk out of my room every single day into just like boxes and piles of shit everywhere, and it freaks me. It's overstimulating. All right, I mean, I get overstimulated every time. I don't like clutter. I don't know about you.
I don't either.
Clutter
I don't either.
stresses me out, and I feel like if I could show you, let me do this. Just
Oh,
for
God.
funsies. Just for funsies. Look at this. Look at this in the corner of my room.
What is all that?
That's okay. So we got the let's see.
The
We got his
bouncer.
little baby bathing thing that he doesn't need anymore.
yeah.
He's got his little bouncer, his swing. There's his other bouncer, and then we got a play mat on the ground right here. I have nowhere to put it, guys.
What's
Nowhere
the-
to put it.
What's the etiquette on this? Because like I think once you have one child, and then it's a boy. So Myers is a boy. Then you have a second child. If it's another boy, are you allowed to have another baby shower? Or is it
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
if it's a girl?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. No. Anytime you have
Yeah,
like
no,
nowadays,
for
anytime
sure.
you have anything, there's a party.
Yeah, and the
Baby.
gender reveal may taper down a little bit, but it's still
Well,
going
then
to be
get
present.
rid of all the
Maybe
stuff.
just cut a cake instead of popping the thing this time.
Yeah.
Having everybody over.
Yeah.
Get rid of all the stuff and let another baby shower replenish you when it's time. That's what I would do.
That seems so wasteful, Kenny.
Yeah.
Put it all on Facebook Marketplace and let people buy it.
Gabe ain't doing that.
Do you guys use Facebook Marketplace?
Tracy does all the time. It's crazy.
Okay. Well, I may need to hit up Tracy then.
Yeah.
I'll list all this shit.
Hey, she's a shark though, man. She might.
And she's smart. She'll itemize it.
Oh,
know?
You need a third. You
Get
need
the
a third
Excel
party
sheet
seller.
out.
She's gonna take 75% of the profits, bro. I'm just gonna be honest with you. She's gonna
Third
take
party seller.
75.
bro. She's a shark. Don't play with
Damn,
her.
brother.
Yeah, she don't play.
What's she damn Mark Cuban, Kevin O'Leary?
Exactly.
What are we doing?
Exactly.
75% of my shit. That's unbelievable.
Christian,
She's doing all the work.
Christian,
I
dude,
guess.
we're 11 days away, my man.
Yeah.
11 days away. We are close. And I was talking to I think Gabe, did we talk about it earlier?
Yeah,
we did. Like it's like time I know is about to come to a halt until next Friday.
Yeah.
Until the rehearsal day, until like things get started, festivities start happening. Like,
Hey, do you
it's
have any
going-
butterflies in your stomach yet?
No,
Where you at?
I'm just excited. Like I said it this way to Gabe earlier too. I'm not ready to get it over with. I'm ready to get to it.
Okay.
You know, like I want to get to Friday and then I want everything to slow back down again. But
Okay.
and that's what Gabe was like, dude.
It just speeds up.
It'll
be slow till Friday, and then Saturday hits, and it's gonna be fast as hell.
Yeah.
So what big news is we found out that Ole Miss is going to be hosting a college football playoff game in the middle of your wedding in Oxford.
Yeah.
How much fun? Whoa.
Buddy.
Wow.
So luckily for y'all and everyone that if y'all do come to the wedding, but for everyone coming to the wedding, it's outside of Oxford. It's like 15 miles east of Oxford. So it's not like in the square or anything like that.
But then for the after party, after the reception, we got to go to the library or something.
I'm not after partying anything. I think we got a 9:30 exit and I'm so out. Like deuces, y'all do whatever y'all want to, but I'm gone at 9:30. But unfortunately for my family and my friends that have to come to the rehearsal dinner on Friday night, it is at Bourré on the square. But we got shuttles, so we're trying to mitigate.
That's where they have their coaches show. Bourré.
Is it?
Yeah.
We've got the upstairs rented out Bourré Friday night. I bet they are so pissed.
They are so pissed, dude.
Who? Bourré?
Bourré. They're like, damn, we just closed our entire restaurant down.
Well, you pay a lot to close down the top.
They would make quadruple what they're gonna make off of us on Friday.
Oh,
night.
Really?
100%.
Ain't no doubt.
Okay.
Ain't no doubt. I mean, the upstairs, I think the capacity up there is probably 80 to 90 people. So that's 80 to 90 people for like 4 to 5 or
like cycled in and
5
out.
to 7 hours that they can't have. So
yeah,
I bet moving forward, places in Oxford will not be doing rehearsal dinners if it's a possibility of a playoff weekend.
In December, no more reserved restaurants for rehearsal dinner.
To hell with you getting married. They don't give a damn going.
No. But so Friday night on the square is going to be crazy. Saturday for the wedding, we've got an Airbnb Friday night, like me and all the guys do. So we'll be away from the square. We won't be downtown Oxford. And then the wedding also is kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So most people will be able to avoid the craziness that is Oxford.
Well, me and Gabe are gonna go rip the square up after the wedding. I'm just gonna be honest with you. We're gonna go.
I'll be on the square. I'm staying on the square Saturday night.
If I ended up at a bar in Oxford, my wife is gonna walk in and drag me all out by my ear. I mean, no, that ain't happening, Kenny. I could try. I could give it my darndest, but it ain't happening, brother.
No.
Do y'all want to know what a hotel room costs in Oxford on Saturday night? A one bed, like just a
probably. What 500 a night?
$3,000.
Oh shit! No. What are we staying at a Holiday Inn Express for $1,000 a night?
Yeah,
a Fairfield Inn and Suite.
Fairfield Inn.
Hampton Inn. It's not like one of the upscale hotels.
It's just $3,000.
It's just a regular hotel, one bedroom, $3,000.
A quinta.
Yeah, the best Western, man.
$3,000 for one night. Thankfully, we did all of our
they
stuff.
have a Motel 6 around that mug. What's up?
Hey, King Meek says we shouldn't. Hey, me and you can't. We do a hangover before the movie. We go out on the square. Hey,
if y'all do that, at least video it. And
for sure. Yes.
send it to me. Like
we should make it more documentary style, though.
I'm just gonna tell you, and everybody who knows Gabe knows this. There is no better Gabe than Drunk Gabe. Drunk Gabe is awesome.
What about? Can I throw a curveball in there? Drunk, sweaty Gabe.
No.
Which they kind of go hand in hand.
Oh, why the sweaty? Why the sweaty? Why is that better?
Because it's usually like
at a Saturday football game when we see
that.
Oh yeah.
No, I've seen you at a wedding, your own wedding, like dancing constantly,
boogieing on down.
Yeah. And we've got a live band, so we'll be able to get down.
Oh God, we have this one, Gabe #AfterDark.
It's a fun thing. It's fun.
If you've never received a 1 a.m. drunk Gabe call,
if you haven't got one, you've never lived, brother.
They're the best.
If he doesn't stay long enough to get a little tipsy, I'm gonna be kind of sad.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, never mind. I'm not even gonna bring it up. Not even bring it up. We probably need to get into the real stuff today.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's move on.
Gabe's he's like a Jack from this, please.
Yeah, get out. Okay, let's transition. We'll talk a little bit of Memphis sports before we get to the hot three. And the biggest story around the city right now is the new football coach, Charles Huff, coming over from Southern Miss. We officially know who the next head coach at the University of Memphis is going to be. How, Gabe, do you feel about this hire?
Guys, listen, man. I don't know exactly how it's going to look when he gets here. I love the hire, though. I do. Yeah. It's not one of those hires that's going to wow you with the name.
Not a big name.
I know a lot of Tiger fans saw Dan Mullen. That's a big name. And that's probably somebody they ultimately wanted. But this is a guy who has been very consistent at two places that don't ever see consistency.
Yeah,
he went to Marshall after being the National Recruiter of the Year his final year at Alabama on Saban's staff. National Recruiter of the Year on Saban's staff. That's a feat.
And
he goes to Marshall,
associate head coach on that staff also.
Yeah. He wasn't just running backs coach. He was associate head coach for Alabama.
He gets to Marshall 7-6 year one, but then you saw a steady build to 10-3 and conference champs in his final year. But Marshall didn't really want to pay him, didn't really want to invest the amount of money it took to keep him and give him what he needed in the NIL space to bring in better talent to keep up that level of play. So he ends up not signing a contract there, goes to Southern Miss. It goes from 1-11 to 7-5 in a year. I mean, the guy at this point, one thing he has proven to us, he can recruit his ass off, and he is a program changer. Yep. I think the next step and the question I have about Charles Huff is he a program elevator? That's what this job entails. That's what this job takes. Yep. Can he, instead of being focused on a turnaround, take a already turned around, already stable, already good resource, well-resourced program? Can he elevate it?
Yeah.
Because sometimes coaches have one or the other. Like my example would be, I think that Justin Fuente and Mike Norvell had to be in that order when it happened at Memphis, because Justin Fuente was a guy who could get it out the mud, get those 2-star recruits, develop them,
right,
and then get you off the mat and get you to a point where you feel like you could sustain some stuff. But he leaves. Mike Norvell is the type of guy who, after Memphis showed, hey, we can compete at the highest level,
he can
use his recruiting chops to go get better players.
Yep.
And he elevated it to the Cotton Bowl. So, I always have said, those guys had to come in that order or we don't get what we have today. I truly believe most coaches are one or the other. You're either a program turnaround guy or a program elevator. And there's very rare people that are both. But I think Charles Huff, I'm ready to see it. I'm ready to see what he can do.
Yeah, I think the best way to describe this hire is it's not a headline grabber. Like, it's not a big attention grabber. When you saw the name Charles Huff being hired by Memphis, you didn't go, oh, wow, I know everything about this guy, and I'm super excited that Memphis somehow lured this guy in. Like, that wasn't the reaction.
No.
But when you dig into it and you look into what he's done, y'all mentioned, what he did at Marshall, what he did at Southern Miss, being the National Recruiter of the Year at Alabama, also was a running backs coach and a special teams coach at Penn State, where Saquon Barkley was.
Right.
Yeah, he recruited Saquon Barkley and helped develop him into the player that he was. So he is a very high-level recruiter, was at two of the best programs in the country at Penn State and at Alabama, and running backs coaches at both of those schools that are historically known as great running back schools, and then goes on to be a head coach and does the things that Gabe mentioned.
I'll say this
over there.
that because I brought this up with you today, and I think you agree with this sentiment. I think there's a general thought out there that, okay, this guy worked at places and turned around places with no resources. Imagine when he gets these resources, what he's going to be able to do.
Yeah.
And I think with Charles Huff, that makes sense, because also he's dealt with very well-resourced programs in the past, maybe as a running back coach, associate head coach, but he recruited well and used his resources wisely at Alabama and Penn State in his role. But that idea of, he had little resources there, he has a bunch of resources here, I mean, he's going to succeed. He knows how to get out the mud. I don't know if I agree with that whole on its face.
Yeah.
I think that there's a learning curve to it that even Ryan had to figure out in the new NIL era, right? So, like, it's about allocating funds, using your resources wisely when you actually have them. And I don't know. That's one thing that's a bit of an unknown for me about Huff. Will he be able to allocate those funds correctly? He has a GM. He's bringing in a GM, which is nice.
That's good. Yeah.
But, like, I think there's this misnomer about getting resources, finally being in a place where you have a bunch of resources. That doesn't mean that you're just going to immediately have success. You have to learn how to properly use those resources. And we've seen it a lot at the University of Memphis, whether it was on Ryan's football team or Penny's basketball team.
Right.
Yeah, there's some tough investments that happen every once in a while, and you try to avoid those as best as possible, and you tend to learn as you go along.
Well, I'll say this. Here at On the Bluff, we're here to help, right? Like, we're here to help Charles Huff figure out how to allocate these resources well. Okay. Might I say, be on the phone every single day with Sutton Smith until he decides to come back. Is that a good allocation of
I think that's a good one. I also think that let's see what you can do to keep AJ Hill on campus.
Hey,
that would be nice.
Let's go.
That's a big one.
Although I would not count if all these quarterbacks ended up leaving, I would not count out. There's a lot of good quarterbacks from the FCS level, from higher levels, the P4 level, that are in the transfer portal right now. There's going to be some quarterbacks for the taking this offseason.
Yeah, no, that's one thing that's right now. I'm not saying that finding a good quarterback is necessarily easy, but it's a lot easier now at the collegiate level than it used to be because you have so many different buckets that you can pick from.
It's different than trying to develop a freshman. Now you have immediate proof of concept with whatever guy you're bringing in. You've seen him compete already.
Right. But I do agree with Gabe. He's talking about just the allocation of resources and how does that change when it's more money, when it's a little bit of a higher level of a talent pool that you're choosing from at Memphis versus Southern Miss or Marshall. How do you manage that? Is that something that throws you off and takes you time to get used to, and you have some trial and error, and your roster might not be as good your first year because you don't know exactly how to piece it all together yet? Those are all fair questions. Like, we don't know exactly what is going to happen, but someone that's worked under James Franklin, someone that's worked under Nick Saban, and albeit I understand not in the NIL era, not in you got to pay players era, but still someone who's seen programs ran the right way. I feel like that's such an underrated thing in a coach. Like, he didn't just work his way through all these small schools as an assistant coach and ultimately become a head coach and then come to Memphis. Like, he has been at what were two of the best programs in the country during the times that he was there. Saw how those head coaches operated on a daily basis. I think that's a big thing. Another big thing that I mentioned to Gabe earlier is he does have head coaching experience, and that puts him ahead of the 8 ball immediately, because you look at someone like Will Stein at Kentucky, who Gabe was high on, I was high on, a lot of fans were enticed by that name, ultimately ends up at Kentucky, but he's never been a head coach before, and he's a young guy, and he's jumping into the deep end in the SEC after never being a head coach before. You better believe that's going to take some adjusting to. That's going to take some time. I'm not saying he's not going to be successful, but it's still going to take some time. Fortunately for Memphis, Charles Huff has done that at Marshall, at Southern Miss. He's been a head coach. He understands how to compartmentalize all those things that a head coach has to compartmentalize. This is not a position coach jumping to a head coach and going, wow, I'm overwhelmed. He knows what comes with the territory. Now, there's a different set of expectations at Memphis than there are at Southern Miss and Marshall. So, yes, there's different nuances, but he has experience as a head coach, and I think that goes a long way.
I'm with you 100%. And, I know a lot of people have had whatever they have to say about this hire and how they feel about if they're going to buy season tickets and blah, 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 blah. But I would say, in the end of the day, in the past decade or couple decades, Jeff Calkins pointed this out in his column for the Daily Memphian yesterday. He is by far, unquestionably, the most qualified Memphis head coach in a long ass time.
Yeah.
39-25 as an FBS head coach. has shown the proof of concept in recruiting, has done all that. I will say we'll get more of his answer coming up tomorrow.
Yeah.
When he does his presser at the Murphy Complex. But I did like within the first 24 hours of his hiring, he said, I need all the former players, people from this city to come back. I need your help right now. I like that message. I think that's good for a lot of programs to keep some level of continuity and understanding within their locker room of how things are supposed to look. And he already brought in a defensive staffer, Dominique Bowman, who's from the city of Memphis. So I like that. That's a solid thing to see off the top for Charles Huff. So I'm pretty confident about this hire, but we're gonna have to see it in action. But Kenny, can you do me a quick favor?
Yeah.
Just a quick favor. Please throw up this Ed Scott graphic that the Memphis
Christian, have you seen this?
Please, Did you see this shit, Christian?
I have not.
Christian.
He put out a statement.
All right.
Oh my! It's the greatest.
It's the greatest thing ever, Christian. I need you to look, Christian.
I'm ready.
All right. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
He got the glam shots out, dude. That is so hilarious.
That is funny.
Oh my god!
To announce a hiring, yeah, that's funny.
Dude, the fist right here. That one gets me.
Is that picture up top? That has to be AI, right? Like that's not really Ed Scott, is it?
I don't know. They did something with the contrast,
It does. It does kind of look like AI.
If they pulled up an AI picture of Ed when they have Ed in the damn
right there
building every day, that would be ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think it's very likely, but it does. I agree. It does look like AI.
I just can't get over the stacking of three Ed Scotts.
He was feeling himself about his first hire.
I firmly believe an intern in the Memphis media department just put that together just to have content. I don't think Ed had anything to do with that.
Dude, I don't think that they would post that without him signing off on it. I could be wrong, but
Ed's cool ass. Look at Ed's cool ass.
It could be worse.
Christian, that's terrible, man.
It's funny. It's definitely
hilarious.
Funny. Hey, but y'all are sitting here talking about can Charles Huff, handle the resources and all this. If it's anything like what Coach O explained today on Bussing with the Boys, then it's gonna be fine. Just listen to this, Christian. Listen to this, Gabe.
SEC was NIL before NIL.
Hey,
I love that laugh.
Look at
Hey, we're way past it. Can we now just admit it?
It's all good. Hey, you know what? They say, hey, Coach, you've been out of coaching for a while, and how are you going to adjust that NIL? I said, well, it's a minor adjustment. And they said, what do you mean? I said, back then, we used to walk through the back door of the cash. Now we just got to walk through the front door of the cash.
Go Tigers. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Yeah.
That guy's awesome.
He is. Yeah. He's hilarious. Look, what about the leather jacket with the white t-shirts?
Yeah, bro. That man is wild.
Kind of crazy.
He's still trying to get a job. I don't even know if there's open jobs. He's trying to get one.
I'm surprised Lane hasn't hired him yet. That's what everybody
honestly, Tulane, they hired Will Hall, which
I'd have hired Coach
O. I've had my crossings with Will Hall. Good guy. Not a very good FBS football coach, though.
Yeah, the guy that Charles
head
Huff
football coach. He's good position in OC. He's been that, but Ed O getting that. I know Ed O's passed, but Ed O getting that job over Will Hall was not something that I thought was out of the realm of possibility by the time we got to the end.
That's fair. All right, guys.
Gabe,
let's
say Tulane again.
Tulane. You've never heard Gabe say Tulane?
Tulane.
Do
I say Tulane?
Yeah, there you go.
Tulane. All right. Shout out Trey Lafferty. I'll say Tulane from here on.
Don't forget, Gabe is not from around here.
Gabe's from St. Louis.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Gabe's not super southern like we are.
I'm very in between.
Yeah. Gabe's like a Midwesterner from Missouri. That
is what I am.
That
actually.
That's
a good explanation.
Is Missouri considered Midwest?
Quite literally, that's exactly what he is. Is it a Midwesterner from Missouri?
Oh yeah, and Trey does point out we do have a Missouri accent, and that's washing. I'm washing my clothes.
So wait, time out. Is Missouri considered the Midwest?
Yeah.
It's actually split. It's very
Okay.
split.
Okay, so I'm not as dumb as that sounded.
But
if-
I'm
okay,
not
time
going
out,
to
time
say
out,
what
time
I
out,
was going to
time out,
say
time out,
because
time out.
it could
Let me
we
explain.
could get in the weeds with that.
If
but
you-
I know what, I'll say it. I think the Mason-Dixon line cut directly down the middle of the state of Missouri.
If you asked me, okay, quick exercise, then we're going to talk basketball. Gabe, not Gabe. Gabe, you're out of this. Kenny.
Yeah.
If you did not know where Gabe was from, but you knew him as well as you did, and someone asked you, where do you think Gabe Kuhn is from?
I like this. I want to know your answer.
What would you say?
Cleveland, Ohio.
I would say Ohio 100%.
100%.
I wasn't thinking
Are
the
you
city,
kidding
but
me?
I was 100%.
100%
Yes, you
Cleveland,
give like the
Ohio.
most Ohio vibes of
Or
all.
Pennsylvania.
No, I would say
Ohio.
Ohio,
You think
like
I'm
that's
from,
100%.
like one of those nasty little Ohio river towns, bro?
Yes, yes.
Like
100.
Toledo?
Yes, yes. That is what you give. Because you're like have that like gritty blue collar feel to you, but you're not from the South. And I feel like especially people from down here, when we think of that, we immediately go to like in Ohio.
100%.
Like that's where the thought goes. And I think that's if I did not know that you were from right outside of St. Louis, I would 100% think you were from Ohio.
Well, but also I feel like I'm kind of hard to like tab down, like figure out. If
You're
you
a
didn't know
chameleon.
where I was from and you
You're
had
a
to guess.
chameleon.
You are a little bit of a chameleon. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
true.
will say I will give
Well,
you
like I have family from everywhere. I have family from Chicago, from Southern California, Seattle, New York.
Ohio.
Yeah, like it's no Ohio.
Toledo.
No Ohio, believe it or not. Zero Ohio, sir.
Mud
Okay.
River, Ohio.
Okay.
Then I have some on my mom's side. We got some family in the boonies of Missouri, brother. You
Yeah.
ever heard of Gerald, Missouri?
No, you ever
I
heard of
see
Haytie?
tinfoil on them windows every time I visit.
You ever heard of Haytie, Missouri?
Yeah, I know Haytie.
That's where
Why
my
are
grandfather.
you bringing up Haytie, Missouri?
That's
All
where
I
my
know about Haytie, Missouri is they have a dispensary out there where you can get your gummies.
That's where my grandfather was born. There was like
Oh, really?
300
And-
population of like 350, I think, when he was
And
born.
it is
there.
Haytie, not
Haytie.
Haiti.
Not Haiti.
Haytie.
Haytie. Yeah, 100%.
Haytii.
Yeah.
Haytie.
Yep. All right, boys. Let's talk a little bit of Memphis.
Oh God.
Oh God! Did you pull them all? What are we
He
doing?
kicked-
Well,
he just kicked
listen,
me out.
Christian, like just behind
He's
the
about to
fourth,
talk Memphis basketball. You didn't want to do it.
Kick me.
behind the fourth wall for a second. Christian showed up with 30 seconds left before the show started, so
Whatever.
I didn't have a chance to get him in all the things. So you're going to
It
see
was
him.
like 2.5
You're
minutes.
just
You're
gonna
over
drop
it.
off and on the whole time because
Okay.
It was like 2.5 minutes. You were
Yeah,
you were
it was actually 4. I got on at 6:56. But anyway, we're gonna
now,
talk a little bit.
now you're being too generous to yourself.
Come on.
But okay.
Memphis basketball. We're going to talk a little bit because we are at that point in the season where we can say something this week, look like idiots next week, or we can say something this week and look like geniuses next week. So it really, at this point, like I don't want to spend a whole heck of a lot of time talking about this. You boys take that for what you will. Since we last talked, Kenny and I, because Gabe left us high and dry last week. Memphis has played 2 games, one against New Orleans and one against Baylor. They won both games.
Yeah.
Definitely looked better in that Baylor game. Zach Davis had a big performance. And Gabe and I actually talked about this on his show a few weeks ago. Like, look, guys, this non-conference stuff has been fun. Let's punt it to conference play. Like, that's all that matters at this point in time. It's been so ugly. Get the conference play, roll the dice, see what happens. So with this Memphis basketball team that we've seen over the last week in these 2 wins, do we think that they can win the American when we stack them up against the rest of the conference?
Yeah, but they have to give a pretty consistent effort night to night, and I'm not sure I've seen that from this team. I feel like they're putting it together slowly but surely and stacking some decent days. And Penny Hardaway benching Aaron Bradshaw clearly paid off. I can say that 17-7 in that Baylor game. But yeah, brother, I think they can win the American, but it's going to require them to not be as up and down and inconsistent as they've been through the first 8.
Yeah.
So
And I have no reason to really believe
that they can.
Zach Davis is going to go 24-15 on any given night, or
That's
that
fair.
Aaron Bradshaw is going to go 17-7.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I hate to say it this way, guys, and please bear with me. This is like gut feel thing, okay? and I talked to Kenny about this before the show, and I swear I'm not like I didn't rehearse this. It's
Okay.
just by feel. Aaron Bradshaw put up 17 and 7, and I was like, okay, awesome. But then I went back and watched how he got his buckets, and God, it gives no confidence, brother, that he can ever do that again. Like those hook shots, he's like, he just like his. I don't know if it's hand-eye coordination or what it is, but like I think he's functionally an athletic human being.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's got
it
at all
yeah.
from an athlete's perspective.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying, like,
Yes,
just watching him run, even it's like
the whole team.
It doesn't give me any confidence, I guess is the way I'm putting it.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So I asked you, can Memphis win the American? You said yes, they can. They have to play with more consistency. If you had to take right now, and I mean, we're December 9th, so we're extremely early. A lot of things will change. Memphis versus the field. Are you taking the field or are you taking Memphis?
The field, for sure.
Yeah.
The field.
Yeah. You asked me right now, December 9th, do I think Memphis
And I'm not talking tournament. I'm talking outright championship.
Yes. Yeah.
Not tournament. Because
if you asked me right now, December 9th, will Memphis win the American? I would say no.
Yeah.
To the reasons Gabe said. I just think they've been so inconsistent. And yes, they beat New Orleans and yes, they beat Baylor, but Memphis teams are pretty regularly inconsistent in conference play throughout Penny's tenure. And this is the worst of the bunch. So I don't see them playing with a level of consistency to do that. Could it change?
But in when we talk about consistency, it's just like the proof is in the pudding.
Right.
From every game they've played so far this year.
The eye test.
Doug McDaniel, who I trust the most, is even like this.
Yeah.
It's all over the place. Zach Davis.
Right.
I don't know. Can I really count on him being American Conference Player of the Week again?
Right.
Probably not.
Right.
You know, like I just there's nothing about this team that feels consistent or set in stone.
Yeah.
Now, I Penny today on Greg and Eli's show at Sports 56 said he feels better and he's a little bit more in tune with what he wants his rotation to be. But how long does that last?
Right.
When does that change? I don't know. This whole season is just going to be as painful as this is. It's going to be a wait and see season the entire way through. I don't think we'll ever have a good feel for what this team's going to be because I think they will lose a nasty one, then they'll win a big one, and it'll just be like that the rest of the year.
Yeah,
I don't think the one thing I don't think you're going to question about this team, which has been a part of the consistency thing with Penny over the years with his teams, is the effort.
Yeah,
right?
I agree with that.
This team might not be as talented as some of the other teams he's had. Effort-wise, you're going to get effort. Now, it's going to look like baby giraffes being born with.
You're seeing what I'm saying.
Like it's gonna look like that. Like I've said this on multiple shows. I don't think there's any coincidence that all of a sudden the Tigers have had like multiple deep thigh bruises, and you've got Simon Majok running around practices with them bony ass knees. Like I guarantee,
jumping everywhere,
jumping everywhere. Running into folks, like I'm telling you, So you're gonna get effort. Like the effort is there,
but is that enough?
Is that enough? Like
because
that's the question.
Okay, here's the way I describe it. Right, we've all watched a lot of college basketball. If I ask both of you, when you watch Memphis, do you lean more towards like, okay, they're on the TV right now, you're watching. Do you sit there? Are you more likely to sit there and go, "Wow, that's a good team," or, "Eh"?
Every time.
Even
when they're, I gotta be honest, even when they're playing well.
Yeah.
I'm like, with this particular team.
Yeah.
Because like Kenny said, it's like a bunch of baby deer and baby giraffes running around.
It's not pretty.
Confused. It's just, they don't look, none of these guys besides Doug McDaniel, like, and I guess
looks like a hooper.
Guys, I don't want to say everybody, but like the Aaron Bradshaw, Zach Davis thing, like they just don't give me confidence when I watch them play.
No, it's the clunkiest.
I don't know how to explain it.
It's so clunky. Like it looks painful.
Yes, I felt the same way after
like
the New
watching
Orleans
Aaron
game.
Bradshaw run the court like this. He doesn't pump his arms. Like I'm like, it just doesn't look right.
After the New Orleans game, we did the Tigers live post game show with Francis Carlotta. You can check it out after every Memphis game. And I came onto the show and I was like, I'm so conflicted because like New Orleans has played good teams and has like won some games.
They were god awful,
and
though.
Memphis donkey stumped them. Like they shouldn't have been on the floor with Memphis, and Memphis still didn't look good. Like
No.
I was like, this is not an attractive game at all to watch.
No, it's ugly.
Like,
And the other part of it is like, I guess Doug is the one guy outside of Doug. When we say you're setting up the getting ready in the half court, play a half court offensive set. Whose ball? Who do you want the ball in the hands of? Not whose balls.
Whose balls? Whose balls do you want your hands
Whose
on?
balls?
Who do you want to have the ball in their hands outside of Doug McDaniel? Go.
No, like just pass. I mean,
Sincere maybe, but I think we're even with Sincere. We're starting to see like the biggest question about Sincere coming in was why was he at McNeese State with the efficiency numbers that he had and the shooting that he was? Why is he not starting and only playing 20 minutes? We're seeing it, bro. Like we're seeing it. Like we're 100% seeing why you cannot put him out there for long extended periods of time.
They just don't have. I don't know if they have like a single complete offense defense player this year. Whereas last year, I think they had 3 in particular, or 2. But PJ was so damn good offensively,
right?
And at least blended in and could get some steals on the defensive end. I just don't know if they have that complete of a player. Dane Danger, Tyrese Hunter, and PJ brought that.
Not on this team.
I don't, and I'm not trying to
those
say
3 are not on this team.
I know. I'm not trying to say. Like that's a hard bar to live up to. I totally understand that, but like they don't even have one of those guys. They don't we thought Doug maybe, but we can see like I thought what UNLV did to Doug early in the season was something that could be taken by a lot of American Conference teams if they have some length and athleticism on the wing. Throw a lengthy wing defender on him and wear him out. He's 5'11".
Right.
Well, that's the idea.
I will say one thing that I like about Doug is that there are times where he needs to score more, but then there's times where a guy like Zach Davis is having a great game or Aaron Bradshaw. Like it was very clear in that Baylor game that Scott Drew came in and was basically like, I'm shutting the backcourt down and making that weird ass front court beat us. And they did. Yeah. They did. The front court stepped up. Aaron, Simon, and your boy Zach played great.
And shout out to Penny, by the way, late in that second half, going to zone and completely throwing off Baylor's young guards. Like maybe could have deployed it earlier, but I thought when he did it, it was crunch time and it worked to perfection. Yeah. So shout out to Penny Hardaway. That was a good coaching decision.
Well, now that we kind of poo-pooed them, I'm sure they'll go beat Louisville and Vanderbilt and we'll look like idiots. And they'll have
I'm sure.
Listen, brother, I
hope. Please.
I don't really give them a chance, but I wouldn't be surprised if they won. I don't know. I don't know. This team is. I don't know. This team is the biggest mystery box every single time they play.
Agreed. All right, boys. Well, let's take a quick break. We'll be back on the other side with the Hot 3. We'll talk some college football and some NFL.
In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
Drew, I think they got it about exactly right with I'll say one glaring problem, and that's the fact that we have an extra G5 team. You want to put one in to be cute, that's fine.
Well, obviously, something's going to change here. And what shouldn't change is the number of teams that get in the playoff. But they're going to have to put a floor on the team, on the ranking of teams that are in my opinion.
Yes.
2 Group of 5 schools can make it if they're conference champions, but they've got to be ranked in the top 15. But we need to start just treating G5 as we did Division I AA. Like, have your own thing. You have no chance at winning this. If you had a G5 16-team tournament, Tulane would be the prohibitive favorite.
That's a ring. That's a trophy. That's a banner you can hang. You can tout that you were the G5 champions. Like, I think that's a thing.
Tune into the 2 Buck Sports Show with Rusty Witten and Drew Gand, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem. All right, we are back. Hey, listen, this is usually the time for the Hot 3, but man, we're live now. We're live, and we got people that are talking to us and asking questions and wanting to talk shit. So let's do that. Let's have some fun with it. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go to the comment section. Can Memphis go undefeated in the conference, or will they lose a couple of games? I am.
Who? Basketball? Hell no, they can't go undefeated.
No.
I think they'll lose more than a couple games, too.
No, they cannot win, 18 games in a row?
Last year's team lost.
Road conference basketball is tough, too.
Last year's team lost 2 or 3 times in the conference. 2. This year's team,
they're no. Absolute 100% no.
No. Yeah, no, not a chance.
Let me see. King Meeks wants to know, why did some people hate on this hire, the Charles Huff hire?
Because Kenny Stubblefield told him Dan Mullen was signed, sealed, and delivered, brother. That's what happened. No, I think people were dug in on Dan Mullen and wanted a big name.
Yeah.
And ignored the reality that was right out in front of them. So I think, though, more and more I'm seeing people getting used to the idea because fans will talk themselves into anything. And this isn't that hard to talk yourself into, Charles Huff being a good coach for this program.
Yeah, I think it was either like, hey, we want Dan Mullen because he's the big name, or Jerry Mack because he's a Memphian, and that was kind of the extent. That was the extent of that.
I have a question for both of y'all. Do you think that this is a theory that I've been kind of trying to work through in my own brain, and I wanted to ask you guys about it? Do you think the process in which the hire went down on the University of Memphis side allowed for there to be too much talk about Dan Mullen and Jerry Mack and not enough about Charles Huff prior to the announcement? Does that make sense? That created some of that.
I think it's just the natural narrative of the names and the connections. I mean,
yes, I think that, but I also agree to a certain extent with what you're saying, Kenny, because by Friday it was everyone had Mack instead of Huff.
Like, dude, we were watching Kennesaw State in the conference championship on Friday night,
thinking that was the hire that was going to be made, and he was a very serious candidate.
Watching their quarterback going,
yes, exactly. Okay. And I think people got used to the idea of Amari Odom, to the quarterback at Kennesaw State, potentially, being a package deal with Jerry Mack. But yeah, I think Christian's hitting it more on the head, where a Memphian versus and Dan Mullen were the guys that were really wanted, and then Charles Huff was sort of third behind those guys.
Right.
Well, Christian and I spoke to this while you were out last week about Memphis football fans, Memphians, need to get away from the idea that Jerry Mack is the best guy because he's a Memphis Whitehaven guy, right? Like maybe there's somebody better out there, that it's not just because you want a guy who's going to be here for a couple of years and then move on, because there's a level of success that's had with the football team if he's doing that, right? You agree with that, Gabe?
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. And you can also bring in people from Memphis to be on your staff, which he already has.
Yeah, 100%. Let me last question before we get to the hot three, or last thought. King Meek says lots of people love the hire. One was, I think it's Luther Campbell,
Luke Campbell. Okay.
From Two Live Crew. He loved the hire. So did James Franklin and Nick Saban. We haven't had many hires at the University of Memphis where nationally it's been met with so much like praise. That's a unique thing for us, right?
Yeah. Well, it's called being in a different stratosphere as a program too.
Yeah, and
you're able to make hires like this at this point,
and having someone that coached under, like big time coaches.
Both of those guys, right? All right, let's get to the hot three. The bracket came out, boys. See, I told you, Christian's going to be out of here for a bit. The bracket came out. College football final bracket. It came out. Let me bring this up here for us. Got to bring Christian back in. Here we go.
Extraordinaire.
Let's talk through this, guys. What are y'all's thoughts? Y'all saw the clip of the two Bucks guys talking about G5 schools shouldn't be involved. They should do their own thing. What are y'all's thoughts on the bracket? Especially, let's go to the 10 spot, Miami versus potentially Notre Dame.
I find it absolutely ridiculous that they waited to the last second to move Miami ahead for a head-to-head.
That's the only problem.
It's absolutely spectacularly dumb. And the only thing that Hunter Yurachek said that could have led us to believe this is he said, well, if they're successive, if they're 11 and 12 in the bracket versus 11 and 13, then the head-to-head can come into question a little bit more.
Yeah.
And BYU loses. They use that as ammo to put them behind both those schools. They get them back to back, and Miami's ahead. And the big problem I have with it is not that I like Notre Dame or Miami or whatever. I do think Notre Dame's the better team at this particular moment, but whatever. But here's the problem: Notre Dame was 6-2, ranked number 10 in the first college football playoff rankings. From that point on, they won 4 games by an average of 30 points a game, and they went down in the rankings.
Yeah.
And their metrics only got better.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense on the surface of it. If you're going to have one line of thinking through the first 4 weeks of the college football playoff rankings release,
can't change with no reasoning.
Can't change the last week of the season, right when these teams didn't even play.
Yeah.
These teams were idle.
Yeah.
They didn't play in a championship game. So I thought that was absolutely foolish. My other thought is I love seeing 2 G5 teams in it. Love it. Absolutely love it. Although it does bring guys like Rusty Witten to the forefront. A Mississippi State fan, have to add that. Yeah. Have to add that. A Mississippi State fan telling G5 schools they have no chance of winning a national championship is hilarious. We can admit that, right? Like that's rich.
Yeah.
But it brings people like that out to say what they need to say about G5 teams.
Yeah, I want to talk about Miami for a second too, because I do feel like Notre Dame is the better team than Miami right now as it sits. But I also think that they got it right, and Miami should be in over Notre Dame because they won head-to-head. There is no more of a sirens, lights, this is how you have to determine something than between the two teams playing. I don't care if it was week 1 or week 12. It doesn't matter. Where they screwed themselves was obviously they love Notre Dame. They want Notre Dame in. Notre Dame was in the national championship game last year. And they're banking, look, Miami's lost to some pretty bad schools. Miami's going to lose one of these games down the stretch, and we're going to be fine. Miami didn't lose. So they had to keep bumping them up, even though they were beating bad teams. And they eventually, because of the head-to-head, have to have them jump Notre Dame. I think, what did Miami start at, Gabe? Like 18th or something like that in the first college football playoff? Like just way low. And they just had to keep creeping up, even though they beat no one. And then they have to jump Notre Dame because of the head-to-head. It just is a crazy decision. Another thing, is the conference championships thing, right? Like obviously I don't know how you make it right, okay? Because I've heard the argument both ways. I've heard if BYU was out, Alabama should be out also. BYU was 11-1. They're only 2
at least
losses.
drop Bama a spot.
Right. And Bama doesn't move. Bama doesn't move.
That's what bothered me.
So BYU
dropped.
Yes, they dropped out. They lost 2 games this year, both to Texas Tech, one in the regular season, one in the conference championship. They drop out. Alabama loses to Georgia. Georgia avenges a loss earlier in the season to Alabama. Alabama doesn't move. And it was a decisive win.
I was going to say avenge it in a big way.
Yeah, I mean, it was decisive. Georgia, it was a very physical game. Georgia beat Alabama up in this game, just out physical. I don't necessarily think that they're wrong with Alabama being in. Alabama has quality wins. They've lost to Georgia, Oklahoma, and who was their third? Yeah, in week 1 against Florida State. So 1 bad loss and then two losses against college football playoff teams, beating Georgia throughout the regular season. So I don't disagree that Alabama should have been in. I do think they should have dropped. And then it's like, how do you compare apples to apples with BYU and Alabama, especially on surface level?
Well, and
Alabama's strength of schedule is a lot different than BYU's strength of schedule.
Yes, I agree with that. But have you seen the Miami, Notre Dame, and BYU side-by-side resume?
Yeah, I have.
BYU metrically has the best case of all 3 of those teams.
Right, but they're BYU. They're not Notre Dame or Miami.
Miami and Notre Dame was 44 and 45. BYU is 22. Strength of record, 14 and 13 for Notre Dame and Miami, 9 for BYU.
Yeah.
BYU played in a conference championship game. Those 2 teams didn't.
Right.
And then the only losses, it's similar to Notre Dame in the sense that they lost to the number 4 team in the country twice. Right. Now, they got their ass whipped. They lost by a combined 70-14 or whatever the hell it was. But still, I mean, like, they beat Utah. They won a couple of ranked games along the way. They have a good record.
But at the end of the day, if it's tight in metrics or anything like that, they're going to
BYU ain't getting in over Notre Dame or Miami. I agree.
Another thing,
now we get to it.
And I'm glad they did this correctly because Duke should not have been in the college football playoff at 8-5. I don't care that they won a conference championship. Like, the ACC screwed themselves by their tiebreakers, and that's why they ended up in the doomsday situation. So I know it was hard for the committee to put 2 Group of 5 schools in with James Madison and Tulane. That had to have hurt them. They're sitting there thinking about ratings and numbers and all this and like, wow, we're really going to put James Madison and Tulane in and not have a Notre Dame on the outside looking in or a Texas on the outside looking in. That's tough. But I think they did the right thing. I mean, it's the 5 highest ranked conference champions, and that you either got to fix something or you stay true to it, and they stayed true to it. So
let's not fix it just yet because we're going to talk about that in a second.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, that'll be the next thing. We'll talk about what needs to happen moving forward with the college football playoff, but they're never going to get it 100% right.
Yeah.
That's just the fact of the matter. Every single year, whether it's a 14 playoff, a 12-team playoff, a 37-team playoff, there will always be what we view as mistakes, and there will always be discrepancies, and there will always be this should have happened, no, that should have happened, because there's human error involved and there's money involved, which makes a difference also. So I don't think they nailed it. I definitely don't think they nailed it, but I think it's okay.
And Kenny, pull up that bracket again, and I want y'all to pick your champion based on this. I don't think I care about the bracket. I like Georgia all the way.
I agree.
I like Georgia. I love what they did in the SEC title game. And the biggest thing I noticed is obviously their linebacking core is freakish. CJ Allen leading the charge, and they have a bunch of young guys that came along as the season went along. It's not a surprise their defense is playing as well as it is, but this is a vintage Georgia defense. This is 21-22 Georgia defense. This is you're not going to run the ball on us, and we're going to thump you at the point of attack every single last time. Alabama had -3 total rushing yards.
That's crazy,
SEC
bro.
title game.
That's crazy.
And the other part of Georgia's defense is their back end. They'll give up some yards, but they don't bust coverages. They did early in the year because they have some young guys against Tennessee. But back half of this season, they're not busting coverages and allowing those big explosive plays. I think their defense can carry the day, and I think their offense is good enough.
Yeah, I agree. I like Georgia because when I look at the bracket and looking at it right now, I don't think Tulane or Ole Miss can beat Georgia. I think Ole Miss can play close with Georgia, but I think Georgia's just too physical for Ole Miss and all the question marks surrounding Ole Miss with the coaching staff. I don't think Miami or Texas A&M have a snowball's chance against Ohio State.
And the top part of the bracket, I'm very curious about it. I think Indiana, Alabama, Oregon, Texas Tech can all beat each other.
I agree with that.
I don't know who I would favor on neutral sites.
No, I think 5 of the 6 teams could come out of that side of the bracket. I genuinely do. I think they're all good.
But bottom part, Ohio State, Georgia, the only two that
Ohio State, Georgia in the semifinal for sure, or in the quarterfinal for sure. But then you look, I mean, that upper bracket, the defenses in that bracket between Oklahoma, Indiana, and Texas Tech, those are 3 of the best defenses in the entire country.
Sure.
Like, it's probably going to be ugly up there. Like, JMU, Oregon could have a pretty good offensive showing. Bama, Oklahoma is probably going to be pretty ugly, mix it up. Texas Tech versus whoever is probably going to be pretty ugly, mix it up. Indiana versus Oklahoma or Alabama is going to be ugly in a defensive game. Like, there's going to be a lot of low-scoring games in the upper side of the bracket, I think. But overall, I think Georgia, Ohio State, the quarterfinal. I don't know the other way. I kind of like Texas Tech more than I thought I would, but I like Oregon too. So I'll go pretty chalky. I would think like Georgia, Indiana would be a cool national championship that we would have never seen coming.
You think what's the first big upset you think in this bracket?
JMU over Oregon. I'm just kidding.
I don't know if we'll see.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know.
I think
like,
Alabama.
What are we defining as an upset?
I think Alabama, Oklahoma, whoever wins that game. I think
they're beating Indiana.
I think they're beating Indiana in the second round.
I don't know, man. Indiana's
good, dude. Yeah, I'm with you, dude. But the only thing you could say, I think the first round bye we saw year 1 kind of work against.
It didn't help. It didn't help.
Oregon was not ready to go against Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. Like they had clearly taken too much time off while Ohio State had to play and fight, or not really fight against Tennessee, but play and gain some confidence against a pretty solid Tennessee team.
Yeah, I mean, I think your only opportunities for upsets are either Alabama or Oklahoma over Indiana or Miami or A&M over Ohio State.
I would not. I mean, but we're not even going to call Oregon over Texas Tech.
No. That's what I'm saying. That's not really an upset. Right. So I could see Alabama and Oklahoma.
Ole Miss sneaking one on Georgia. It was a close game.
Is that really an upset though? They played close in the regular season. I mean, it's a 6.
Yeah, but there's no Lane Kiffin now, so the
exactly. They got Pete Golding as their head coach. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could Miami beat Texas?
Don't hate on old crusty Pete, man. Come on now.
Did you say could Miami beat A&M? Yeah, Miami could beat A&M.
Yeah,
definitely. Sure. Miami on their good days, they're a good football team.
I do love how they leave Notre Dame out, and the 2 teams that beat them this year are playing each other in the first round.
Yeah, that is funny.
All right, so there's a lot of conversations on Blessed Media's network. There's a lot of conversations on ESPN, on all the big ones about how to fix the college football playoffs. We got Christian in the middle here. He's a Power 4 guy. We got Gabe over here and me. We're G5 guys. How do we fix the college football playoff? And Paul Feinbaum actually had a quote today. He was on ESPN on Get Up, and this is what he said, and I wanted to get y'all's thoughts on this.
Well, it's time to get rid of the G5 schools, and I know how they got in there. It was a compromise, but America does not want to see Tulane, nor do we want to see James Madison in the college football playoff. This is great in the NCAA basketball tournament, Greeny. There are 68 schools. There are only 12 here, and we don't need them around. And I'm not going to give you the with all due respect, because I don't really care about Tulane or James Madison. They're both going to lose by 25 to 45 points. They'll be unwatchable games, and get them out of a playoff.
All right. That's Paul Feinbaum's thing. That's how he wants to fix the college football playoffs. Clearly, last year, the Boise State bye created some changes in the rules and how they went about and giving their buys out this year. Are there things about the way that the committee is doing things that you would change for next year?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't completely disagree with Paul Feinbaum, and I know y'all probably won't like that. I know a lot of Memphis fans won't like that, but I think it's absolutely true. I think you're wasting spots on teams that are not going to compete for national championships I legitimately think
Tennessee
Texas.
last year. Yeah, that would be another one.
Say that again.
Never had a chance to compete for a national title.
Who?
Tennessee last year.
Do what?
Tennessee last year never had a chance to compete for a national title. They were outclassed, outmatched, never would have gotten through.
Okay, that
This is
what
my
are you talking about?
my inevitable issue.
No, Gabe. We're talking about group of 5 talent and power 4 talent. Those are completely different things. You're talking about 4 and 5 star athletes versus 2 and 3 star athletes. That is never going to happen. They will never make it through. They have no chance. There should be a playoff for the group of 5 teams, and there should be a play. Like, you're going to tell me Texas and Vanderbilt don't have a better shot to win a national championship than Tulane and James?
Oh, no,
Madison?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all.
So why are they there? They're just going to get doormatted. Why are they there?
None of those teams, Texas maybe if they really caught lightning in a bottle. Vandy wouldn't make it through. I'm just saying there is maybe 4 or 5 teams a year who have a chance to win a national title. And they're usually the same exact names: Alabama, Ohio State, Oregon, now Indiana, LSU comes along. Like, it's the same ones every year. Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Tennessee, 99% of the time have no chance of actually going and winning a national title. That's what frustrates me about this thing. And then everybody tries to hide behind, deficit. It's just the deficit. They get their ass beat too much. Well, okay, last year, not a single G5 team played in the first round of the college football playoff. And the teams that lost by an average of 19.75 points. And it would have been higher had Indiana not, with a minute and a half, scored 2 touchdowns against Notre Dame.
Yeah.
It would have been 23 points. So the point I'm trying to make is, while we're lifting up these middle-tier teams that have a good year in the Power 4, they don't have a chance to win the damn national title either. So it's a null and void conversation in the end of the day.
Yeah, but would you? Okay. Would you rather watch Oregon and Texas or Oregon and James Madison?
Oh my gosh! Well, now we're gonna do it. So now we're digging in. This is the other thing. Now we're digging into TV sport. We're TV.
No, I'm not. No.
Now we're digging into viewership.
No,
I like football, brother.
I'm not saying.
I'm not a guy who's like, oh, well, what would you rather watch? What's more intriguing to the casual college football viewer? I'll watch whatever's in the playoff based on the rules that are set out there. And the other part of this is they say they don't do this in any other sport. They do it in every. You're right. They do it in every other sport.
Yeah.
The NFL has shitty divisions. Those guys get, a protected seed. The AFC South is not built like normally how the AFC North is, even though it's shitty this year. But you get the point I'm trying to make. And all of those people have representation, even though some of them are not the same. Some of them get home games. For God's sakes. They do that in the NHL. The NBA has freaking 10 people in a play-in tournament.
Yeah.
We do a whole damn video.
Listen, I agree with Paul Feinbaum in the sense that, like the Cinderella story in college football, less likely.
Right. It's not going to happen.
All the points that are made to try to completely exclude the G5 are garbage points to me. Because all these Power 4s in the first round are getting their asses whipped too. Okay, and here's one thing I'll say, and I'll leave it at this. I know I'm getting a little testy. Sorry. I just feel this way about it.
No, this is fun. We don't get to do this. At
the end of the day, this is my one hope. This year, I would really want for all of these anti-G5 people, just let James Madison and Tulane get their ass whipped first, then we can have the conversation. But preempting this shit is so annoying to me. Let it happen first.
Yeah, no, like I'm not one that's like, it's stupid. It's no, I think it would be a better product without it. That is my only thing. I'm not you guys know, I'm not anti group of 5 schools. Like, I think it would be incredible if Memphis made it to the college football playoff. I think it would be awesome. But I think they would get stomped, and it just becomes not fun to watch. But to Gabe's point, that is what happened in the first round last year, because there really were only 3 or 4 good teams last year. It was not deep. That'll be something that varies year to year. There will be years where there are more teams where you go, man, there's 6, 7, 8 teams that can win it this year. And there's some years where it's like there's 3 good teams, and you got your SMUs and your Boise States that are going to just get murdered.
And the thing that does get me, though, is you'll have listen, I'm going to go after Rusty again because he's a good example of this. There's Mississippi State fans screaming this shit from the rooftop. Like they have a chance to ever roll through a college football playoff and win it.
Right.
Like, you have just as good a shot as Memphis damn near in your current situation. And I don't know if your situation's ever been good enough to really go compete against these other teams.
For a national
And
championship.
then, like, Iowa State fans out here, like, yeah, eliminate the G5. It's like, oh, shut the hell up. You guys are the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just maddening to me because it's this superiority thing that people have about being a fan of a Power 4 school or being a fan of a Power 4 conference. And it's like, no one is on our level. They're not on our level. I do think the top of the G5, while they're not beating Ohio State and Alabama and Oregon, they can 1 year sneak in and beat, a Texas Tech. They can sneak in and win a game. And that's all these other Power 4 schools that are climbing up the standings to get in. That's what they're hoping for. It's the same
to win one.
They're
game.
not planning on winning, and they're not going to win a national title.
Yeah,
I don't think if we're talking about the college football playoff, I don't think it'd be like, well, can this team win a national title? Well, if not, we shouldn't involve them because at that point we would say, okay, eliminate the ACC completely. Big 12, throw them out. They're never going to win a national title. So, like, where does it stop? If that's like the bar, where if you can win a national title, you can be a part of the CFP. If you can't, you're not. No. I mean, that to me is kind of a bit of a falsity because I think that 95 to 96% of the country can't win a national title.
All right, let me time out this part of the conversation. I'm going to push it forward just a little bit. All right. One of the things that I think, Christian, I heard you kind of bring up a little bit. We talked about it on the $2 Sports Show today. I was on with Drew and Trey Lasley from Tigers on Tap. We talked about, had this whole conversation, and it was mentioned the idea of the G5 having their own playoff bracket, their own thing, where they have a G5 championship.
Yeah,
Christian, I want Christian to talk about that first. Is that a proper way to fix what you're seeing in the college football playoff? And then Gabe, you respond to what Christian says.
I think so, because I think you have a lot more entertaining games. Like, honestly, we're talking about blowouts in the college football playoff and stuff. And just to be completely real, like, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. A group of 5 playoff I know it's not the same names. It would probably be more fun as far as close games, high scoring. It would probably be more fun to watch the group of 5 playoff just from a excitement of a game standpoint than the college football playoff, just to be completely real.
Yeah. I don't disagree with the idea of a G5 playoff because at least you're competing for an actual championship trophy you can win. But my biggest issue is that's not going to get viewership, and you're just holding those G5 schools who have bigger aspirations, like Memphis, like South Florida, like James Madison. You're holding them down, and you're basically taking their head and ducking it underwater till they drown because they're not getting good TV contracts.
100%.
They're not making money.
Yeah.
So that's where that's the expedited process of, hey, let's break off G5. Let's just break it off altogether. And we have true haves and have-nots. And we're not really going to allow a Memphis to jump from that have-not space to a have space.
I agree. That's
my problem.
That's the difficulty with it because it is, even if they don't have a chance, it's pretty cool. Like, just from an objective standpoint, it's pretty cool that James Madison somehow made it into the playoff.
But, like, I would say this. They may not have a chance now, but if they grow and continue to make the college football playoff and become an attractive place, and they make more money, and they get big donors to give NIL dollars, they get in a new conference.
It's not out of the realm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, these schools want to grow too, and breaking it off completely, you're basically saying we don't want you to grow.
Yes,
this town ain't big enough for the two of us, and I take problem with that. I take issue with that.
I have a fix, and I want to throw this. Is y'all are probably going to laugh at me, and we had this whole discussion on the $2 today. I would be 100% cool with having a G5 playoff if there was some kind of relegation system attached to it.
So Mississippi State could get their ass knocked down to the Sun Belt.
And Drew, who's an Ole Miss fan, said, "What if you had a Power 4 conference attached to a G5 conference that had where there was like, listen, the bottom 2 teams from the SEC are going to then next year, if you're in the bottom 2, you go to the Sun Belt. The 2 top Sun Belt teams come up to the SEC.
God, I have to get this. This is a great comment from our good friend Trey Lastly. This is the crux of my point. That's the point of this. It's year 2 in the expanded playoff. All these schools never have had a shot. Don't have a shot right now because they literally have never had a path.
Yeah.
So they've been held down historically. Now that they have some representation, you're trying to yank it away immediately and keep them where they're at. And
I think it's very it's a good point. And I think it's really interesting in 5 to 10 years. What does it look like if Tulane makes the college football playoff 6 times?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like,
do they get enough money? Do they
Charles
get
Huff
enough?
made it 3 years in a row, and then he went off to Florida or something.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
What would happen with Memphis? Are they in the Big 12 at that point? How
Right.
attractive are they? How much are the big money donors giving them for talent? Who are they competing with in the recruiting space?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I think we're trying to do this right now thing when college football is going to continue to go on. There's a future.
Right. And it's something that I don't have a extremely strong it should be this way or the other, because I think it is one of those things you can make an argument for either side, and I can sit there and go, that makes sense. So I think that's a great point, because we just don't know yet what does happen. They can't compete right now. They can't win right now. They're probably going to get blasted at this time. But in 5 to 10 years, what does it look like? Do they get enough money from this? Do they get enough recognition from this that people start smartening up and wising up and going, okay, I can go here and compete for a national championship? And then what happens from that point? Do they become good enough to get to the second, third round of this thing? I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to watch play out. And this thing's going to expand to 16. It's going to happen.
Can we be honest, too, about just a Power 4 example of what we're talking about? And I know they're in Power 4 conferences, but they have historically never done shit. Vanderbilt and Indiana.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't know that they'd ever be this.
No.
You could have counted them out of national championship conversations every year.
Yeah.
But
Now,
eventually here in 2025, they made it to that point.
At 13-0.
And we're 2 years into an expanded playoff with access for the G5, and everybody in year 2 is already saying it's never going to happen. They're never going to be able to make a run. Shit, man, we need a little bit more of a data point and data set than this.
Yeah. No,
but the SEC and the Big Ten are not going to allow that to happen, though. Like, they won't.
In
but 2030, they're going to break off.
More than Mississippi State fans and Northwestern fans and Iowa State fans and Iowa fans push it, the quicker it's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's what pisses me off. Like, I'm not okay. I was about to get political for a second.
I got another fix. Let's say the Power 4 schools say, hey, G5, y'all go do y'all's own thing. Then I say there needs to be some kind of referendum on Power 4 schools. You can't come in every single year and raid the coffers of the G5 schools.
Also, can I just be honest? If
you can't come take our coaches, you can't come take our players. You got to be 2 years worth. You got to stay in the G5 for 2 years.
And as the fan of an ACC school or the fan of a Big 12 school, hear my words, because this is reality. They will come for the G5 first. They will probably get that done. They're coming for the ACC and the Big 12 right after that.
Yeah, definitely.
Directly after it. Clip this, Kenny. They will come directly for you next. Don't think that you're impervious. It's gonna happen.
All right, Kenny. Last point. Let's go.
We've been going for an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the AFC? I love the college football playoff talk, by the way. I think it's
fun right now.
Yeah, it's great.
So Kenny, time out. So we had a third topic. Talking. We were going to talk about the AFC and the changing of the guard. Gabe decided that we wanted to talk Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers making a return, bro.
So if you haven't seen it yet, Daniel Jones suffered a torn Achilles on Sunday. The Colts at one point were 7-1, number 1 seed in the AFC. Looked like, at least for the first 8 weeks, looked like one of the best offenses we had seen over the last 20 years, and that is no joke. All their metrics were up there with the 2007 New England Patriots. They kind of struggle for a minute. Daniel Jones breaks his fibula in his left leg, and then he tears his right Achilles. Andy Richardson's out for the year with an orbital bone fracture. Riley Leonard, who we know is more of a running quarterback from Notre Dame as a rookie, looks like he's going to take the reins. And then Phillip Rivers it was announced today that Phillip Rivers is eligible to be on the practice squad for the Indianapolis Colts.
Last time he played for the Colts, he was solid, brother. Don't get it twisted. 11-5, 24 touchdowns with 11 interceptions. But guess how many years ago that was? 5. That was 5 years ago. That was during the COVID season.
Yeah.
So
shout out.
What I would say is the Colts are down and out. They are 8-5. They want to try to save whatever season they have left, and whatever plans there, make it happen. And here's a little thing that J.J. Watt put out a little bit earlier today because he's calling the game on Sunday against the Seahawks.
Question is could Phillip Rivers win the college football playoff?
He said that. My gosh, yeah, Phillip Rivers ran the same offense as the Colts for his son Gunner's high school football team this season. So he and Shane Steichen spoke weekly about it, discussing plays and even film. So the familiarity with the scheme is probably the biggest reason this was done, because Phillip Rivers runs this for his son's team.
And this isn't the first time that Phillip Rivers was almost pulled from retirement. I don't know if you guys have heard this before, but in the NFC Championship 2 years ago, I think 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah. So Brock Purdy hurts his elbow early in the game, and Philly just blasts San Francisco. But Kyle Shanahan has since said that if they were somehow to have made it to that Super Bowl, because Josh Johnson who came in for Brock Purdy, he said he was already ready to give Phillip Rivers a call and get him on a plane to Santa Clara.
That would have been one of the most insane stories ever.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
What if Phillip Rivers had won the Super Bowl for the San Francisco 49ers? MVP Phillip Rivers.
It would have been crazy. It'd have been crazy, but it'll be fun to see what happens from this. I don't know. I guess
why is he doing it? Honestly, kids that expensive.
Just can't get away from the game.
I mean, children and grandchildren are that expensive.
Yeah, he's got 14 kids. Like I think his youngest child is the same age as his first grandchild or something like that. Like dude's rolling deep.
What do you think his house looks like clutter wise? Jeez.
Good God. Well, he's probably got
he's
probably got a 12,000 square foot house, so we're talking different clutter.
A little bit bigger than Gabe's house.
I think about it, I don't think it's that cluttered. I really don't.
It's probably fine.
And he's probably got a good housekeeper.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, boys. Well, we appreciate.
Gotta have a nanny. A nanny would be a must with that many children.
Yeah,
100%. What are you talking about?
Like no choice. Couple nannies.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys for joining us this week. If you are watching on YouTube, you can like, subscribe, and comment there. If you're listening via podcast, whether that's Apple, Spotify, or any other podcast platform, you can do the same there. Once again, we appreciate everyone for joining us, and we will see you back here next week.
Thank you for listening to On the Bluff. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports and how you can become an insider.